All right, all right, all right. I am live in all places. Let me make some adjustments here because everything is weird. So, yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just gonna give like a couple of minutes for folks to join on the different platforms. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and do a couple of things. Sorry, tube of you that I'm blocking the view here. Mm, there's that. So while we're waiting for the people on the clock app to show up, let me go ahead and talk to the tube of you. So I wanted to let you all know that this is the Light Work and Life Talk postcast. Um, so what that means is podcast is already live, and if you haven't seen it yet, you can go to any of the platforms where you find podcasts and take a listen. So, thank you for the Daily Heart Meet on the TikTok. So, everything is a little like my setup is weird. So I have like my camera here for the two of you, and then I have my phone for the clock app. So if you see me looking indifferent, that's what I'm doing. Hi, Soda. Thank you for the cute stickers. Excuse me. So, again, my name is Reiki Master Allison. I am the hostess with the mostest for the Light Work and Life Talk podcast. And today we're going to be doing just kind of like a little chat about this week's episode because I want to talk about a little bit, I want to go a little deeper into the discussion. But I still want you to go, if you haven't listened to the podcast episode, I want you to do that because this is an episode that um, is really near and dear to my heart. And I wanted to make sure that I touch upon a couple of things that I wanted to touch upon in the podcast, but I didn't want the podcast to be like extremely long. I try to be very aware and not have the podcast like super duper long because I know our attention spans these days are like, hello, Goddess Erin. Thank you. Get your daily heart me. I did not set a goal, so I think it set one for me. So we're gonna make it do what it do. All right. So before we jump in, I'm gonna pull a card for the collective. Okay. And since we were already in the podcast talking about divine feminine energy that comes from the deck of Priestess of Light, um, I'm going to keep it in the whole divine feminine mood, if you will. And we're going to pull from the African Goddess Rising deck by Abiola Abrams. So we're going to pull us a card for the collective. I am not pulling individual cards, not tonight. I might come on one night and do that and pull individual. Maybe I'll do that Thursday night. Just have some fun, but not tonight. Thank you for sharing the lives on the clock app. I haven't used these in a while, so I need to do a good little shuffle duffle. So, uno momento, por favor. Okay. All right. Whew. So everybody point your energy to the cards to find out what do we need to know. that will go with what we're discussing tonight. Whew. All right. Third eye roses. Okay. This is Goddess Ati, and it's worthiness. 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 Yes. So let's see what number 14, if you are a numerologist and follow numerology, part number 14. All right. All right. I don't like this whole thing that is on my YouTube thing, but I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so it says stop hiding, shrinking, and playing small. Stand tall like the majestic sycamore tree. You are mighty. You are mighty. Put that arm up. You are mighty. You're a brick. Bum, bum, how? Do, do, do. You're mighty, mighty. Just letting it all hang out. Life does not need to be perfect for you to embrace your own perfection. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. Life does not need to be perfect for you to embrace your own perfection. You matter. I need you to understand that. You matter. Worthiness is in your veins. It's in your veins. It's in your DNA. It's part of who you are. Worthiness is baked right in, Goddess. Did you not know that? Did you not know? You were born worthy. Your birth certificate says that we need your overflowing magic, joy, and vulnerability. And most importantly, we need you. We need you. You are deserving and worthy. The beautiful parts of you that everyone likes are worth loving. The parts that you or others dislike are worth loving too. Mhm. Your creator loves you unconditionally. Womb, woman, mama, goddess says, I was speaking to myself about this rising or yesterday. See? Synchronicity. All things work together. They do, they do. So your declaration for this card, I matter. I matter. I need everybody to type that into the comments. Whether you believe it or not, type I matter. Thank you. I matter. Type that into the comments. Everyone affirm that right now. I matter. Yes, affirm it, affirm it, affirm it. And affirm it as many times as you need to until it sinks in. And for those that mention my earrings, these are chakra cons. Yeah. Oh, when I saw that, I had to get them. I was like, oh Lord, chakra cons. And Shaka Khan is one of my favorite singers of all time. So Chakra Khan, yeah, had to have that. So, okay, right? So let's go on and get into it. Let's get into it. Get my notes pulled up because I get excited. So During this podcast for this week, and don't worry, you can still check it out. It's still going to be relevant even after this postcast talk because you have the podcast, and then after we have the postcast, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're just having a little conversation. So, with regards to the podcast we talked about, and I'll get you the title of the podcast, which is Innovate Like a Priestess, Reclaiming Creative Power in Midlife. Now, I understand some of the beautiful goddesses that follow me are not quite in midlife yet. They're still like swimming around in their 30s. And I'm just going to say this. I'm the type of coach, creator. If what I say resonates with you, resonates to your core, if when I say something, it registers down deep into your inner knowing, then you're in the right place. You're in the right place. Okay? So don't sweat that. It's just like I say specifically, my work is for Black women and women of color who are over 40. But if you don't fit into those categories, all of them, if you resonate with what I'm talking about, then the work is it's still doing its job. It's still doing it because you were meant to hear or experience this with me. All right? Okay. So, tonight we're going to talk about creative healing and returning to the inner child. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this because there was a part of the podcast where I talk about tapping into your creativity and really embodying, really going back to thinking about approaching your creativity with childlike wonder, right? Because, with kids, there's a wonder, there's an innocence to their creativity, to the way that they do things. Everything for a child is from a lens of innocence, not jadedness from the world. So I just wanted to share this little extra with you all today, if you don't mind. And sometimes what I say on the podcast just needs space to just breathe a little bit. And this is that space. So, going back to what you loved as a child, as many of us as little girls, we were deeply creative, right? Very expressive, even when people tried to suppress that. It was still very much there. We were drawing, we were dancing, we were writing poetry, we were braiding dolls' hair, we were singing to ourselves. Hell, I've told this over and over again about how I was the wedding planner for my Barbie and Ken. Okay. So I was a wedding planner. I was the teacher. I was a ballerina. I was a model slash entertainer. I was Princess Leia and Wonder Woman, all rolled in one. And nobody could tell me that I was none of those things. Okay? Nobody. Thank you all for the gifts. But nobody could tell me I wasn't none of them things. You just couldn't. And I did that. And pretty much whether somebody told me I couldn't or could. Now I'm just going to give this little disclaimer. I am a Leo sun. So all the extra is just baked right in for me in my personality. It's always been there from the moment I was pushed out into the world and the doctor slapped me on my behind. I've been this way. It's just is what it is. Um, so as we're doing this as little girls, then life starts to happen. Then we're given expectations, responsibilities, and then the well-meaning, sometimes not so well-meaning, but we'll just say well-meaning people who raised us, especially for those of us who are melanated, we were taught to live in survival mode because we were all giving these talks, the talk of survival, of surviving this world, I'll say, as a Black woman, as a Black person, as a Black woman, having to overcome not just sexism for being a woman, but then racism for being Black. So now you've got a double edged sword that you have to learn how to navigate this world as. And you didn't ask for this, but it's part of the world that you're in. And there's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. So what we want to do is let's revisit our inner child as a wellspring of creativity. So what did you love to do before the world told you who to be? What did you love to do? What did you love? What was something that as a kid would just light you up inside? I know for me, writing. I used to love to write. I used to love to write. I used to love to sing. I used to love to dance. Again, performative. Again, I'm a Leo. It was just baked right in. It was literally right there. And those are the things that used to light me up inside. I didn't want structure in those things, which is probably why I didn't last very long in ballet and tap, although I enjoyed them. But it's probably why I didn't last that long in there because the structure of it. And it's like I was a free spirit then, as I'm a free spirit now. And that's probably why working a 9 to 5 job drives me absolutely crazy because I want to be free. I'm a fairy. I'm supposed to be like gallivanting in like a dewy meadow with like my wings and flower crown. Like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Hey pals, welcome in. Pals, when I was drinking my protein coffee this morning, I thought about you. I thought about you. But yes, so think about that. What is it that you used to love to do before the world told you who to be? Or what was the idea that you had as a child of what you wanted to do, what you wanted to be? Because, like I just told y'all, I was the wedding planner for Barbie and Ken. Not only that, but I also did interior design of the Barbie dream house that I had. And I kick myself every single day that I did not keep it because I had like the classic one because I'm Gen X. So, I had the classic one. Okay. And it was so cute. Oh my God, it was so cute. I was the wedding planner for Barbie and Ken along with their interior designer for the dream house. I was a teacher, singer, performer, writer. I was, Princess Leia, Wonder Woman. I was all of these things. And you couldn't tell me nothing. And what I love and appreciate about my parents, they never told me that I couldn't be any of those things. They never told me that I couldn't be any of those things. I often feel bad for the people who did have parents like that that would try to dissuade them from being certain things, but my parents, thankfully, actually did encourage imagination. So, you know, that was the great thing. But let's keep going with this. So, how this connects to your current creativity or creative blocks. So, again, when with my podcast this week, the theme was talking about innovation. So there was a card that I pulled, and the word was innovation, and then the message was new creations. So within this, I go through in the podcast and I'm talking about how we need to tap into that energy. Soda says my parents were also very supportive. Love that. Yes. Yes, I was blessed, Goddess Erin. I was blessed. Hello, JJB on the tube of you. Yes, to be free. I'm a fairy. I am a fairy. I'm a fairy. I'm a fairy princess and queen. I'm also a fairy godmother to a few people. So, yeah. Okay. So our creative expression should have a childlike essence because that's when we were most daring to be creative. Because also, children, they don't stay in the lines. They don't stay in the lines. See, we spend so much time as adults trying to stay within the lines. So, like a kid, you hand them a big piece of paper, and you hand them all these crayons and markers and pencils and all this stuff. And if you lay it out on the floor and you tell them just go to town and do whatever it is that comes up for them, whatever they want to do, draw whatever they want to do. They might draw a house, they might draw a spaceship, they might draw people, they might draw Martians, cows, chickens, whatever, and they're gonna show when you ask them, they're gonna tell you this is that and that, and it may not look like that at all. Like it might have their hand that's supposed to be a chicken, like a nest of feathers, a turkey, or whatever. And you know, the innocence of children, the desire to just be free and not perfect. And the way that we have been jaded by life to seek perfection and not pleasure is what's hindering our creativity. So that's why a lot of times when it comes to our energy, we start having these blocks where nothing is flowing, nothing is going the way we need it to go. It feels like you've stubbed your toe on your bed post like 1,000 times and you can't seem to stop stumping your toe on the bedpost. Hey, Goddess Nailing, and you can't stop doing it. And it seems to keep happening over and over and over again. It's because you it's kind of like Peter Pan. One of my favorite movies is Hook, and how Peter had to find that fairy dust again, that magic again within him. That's where we are. We're grown Peter, and we've forgotten how to fly. So with our creativity, we forgot how to fly. Unless you're a beautiful goddess like, Goddess Nayland, who is a fairy and has, you know, um, her beautiful stickers and work on TikTok. Because she knows how to play, and I love that. If y'all ever get a chance to be blessed by watching Goddess Nayland do her lives, you will be blessed because she is tapping into your inner child personified. and it's beautiful. It's beautiful and it's magical to watch. And we should all feel free enough to do that. But I realize and recognize that a lot of us still have a lot of trauma that we're carrying because some of us weren't allowed to be magical, to have um, fairy dust, if you will. We weren't allowed to have that. So now it's hard for us to figure out how to tap into that. So then how that shows up is we keep trying to color within the lines. And if we go a little bit over the line, we freak out because that means we're not perfect. We have to do it just right. It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. Everything has to line perfectly up because, if I color outside the line, then the picture isn't going to be pretty, and everyone's going to judge it and see that I colored outside the lines, and nothing is going to look the way it's supposed to look because I was told it was supposed to look this way. But if you would just see your creativity and innovation through the eyes of your inner child, you would realize that all the fun is outside the lines. All the fun is outside the lines. Being able to color outside the lines, to go against the grain, to make the person in the coloring book's hair green instead of blonde, to make the sky purple instead of blue, to make the grass red instead of green, to make the house instead of making it brown, you make it multicolored, and it's coloring, big strokes, all on that paper because you can. It's your paper. That's the part we forgot. It's your paper. It's your paper. It's your canvas. You can create it however you want. You can paint it however you want. If you want to do finger paint, get your finger paint. If you want to use a brush, use a brush. If you want to use your hands, your feet, your hell, your butt, sit on some paint and then put your butt print on some paper. That if that's what you need to express yourself. But we got stuck on trying to stay within the lines, trying to stay perfect, that it kept us small. It kept us ordinary. It made us mediocre. It made us like everybody else. This uniform, this way of being, thinking. And everything feels odd and weird, and you feel out of place and not understanding why nothing feels right to you. But you have this feeling inside of you that something is that needs to be birthed. But you can't quite do that because if you do too much, you'll be outside the lines. So, as I talked about in the podcast, Miss Nayland, are you talking about the butt print? That's a good idea. A wonderful idea. Oh gosh. So as I talked about in the podcast, I talked about the different the chakras that you need to focus on when it comes to helping you in your creative expression. So the sacral chakra is the chakra that is within your womb space. It is right below your navel, but right above your pubic area. The color is orange. And with this chakra is creativity, it's emotional expression. So within this, the element is water. This is how you welcome more flow, is by connecting with your sacral chakra. Now, how you can do that, you can wear the color orange, you can eat some citrus fruit, you can do some kind of water ritual. If you like essential oils, you can use orange, you can use grapefruit. Um, but there's all these different ways to connect with your sacral. But that's going to be one. The other one is your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is over your joy and your self love. Hey, Goddess Nikki, being able to experience that joy and be able to express joy and love for yourself, love for others. Then there's the third eye, which is the intuitive clarity and vision. Now, why are these important? Let me go back. So, with the heart, the color is green, but sometimes pink. Got my little rose quartz stone in here too. I told y'all I'm starting to feel very much in my pink era. So now for the third eye, that's gonna be like a cobalt blue. Um, it's gonna be a very deep blue. You can get you some lapis lazuli. That's like the first stone that pops out whenever I think about the third eye. Then amethyst, you can do that. Because in some hues, the third eye can look a little purple. Okay. So the reason why I brought up these three energy centers is because if the sacral, the heart, and the third eye. So here's how my brain works, okay? So the root, the sacral, and solar are the matter, the human part of us, right? And then you have the throat, the third eye, and crown, which is the spirit part of us. And then you have the heart, which is the bridge, right? Okay. So if you have all three things are happening within you, the spiritual part of you, the human part of you. So in the human part of you, that energy center is blocked. Well, the spiritual part that reflects, in my mind, in my opinion, what happens in that area is the third eye. Because the femininity of the sacral and the divine femininity of this, because this is where the intuition is. So if your vision is blocked, it's kind of hard to create something. Basically, that's why I say that. If your vision is blocked, it's hard for you to create. If you are not feeling creative, then it's hard to have vision. See how that kind of works? So where does the heart come in? Well, in the heart, this is the love. So if you're having trouble with loving yourself, it's kind of hard for you to visualize. And then if you can't visualize, you can't create. So then if the bridge is out, then spirit can't flow from here to here. And then energy flow there. So going this way from the vision to talk to be like, okay, bet, let me go on down and talk to the sacral so we can put something in motion. Oh, bridge is out. I can't go. Bridge is out, I can't go because something's blocking my way. Kind of like, Billy Goat's Gruff, if y'all remember that story. If you are too young to know that, then look it up. Billy Goat's Gruff. Look it up. But that's a classic. But that is why I say that. Is because the connection between the third eye and the sacral, if the bridge is out, if you're having trouble finding joy, if you're having trouble showing love to yourself, compassion to yourself, forgiveness of self, and all of those things, the energy can't flow. Does that make sense? Running into class, but we'll come back if you're still here when I'm out. Love you too, Goddess Nikki. You need to get in my jewelry box. One day I might have to do a little something and show y'all the jewelry I got in my jewelry box. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I pay a lot of money for my jewelry. I don't. I go through people that sell like paparazzi. I have like 3 or 4 people that I buy paparazzi from. This is paparazzi. This is paparazzi. Now these come from this goddess that I was that still follow her. I haven't seen her in a while. I'm gonna have to see if she's still going. But her name is Embellish, and that's the letter M and then Bellish Jury. So she had these. And then there's some more jewelry I got from her. But yeah, child, I'm gonna be paying nothing for this jewelry. Hey, girl. So yes, let me get back on task because I get distracted. Squirrel. So again, when these energy centers are blocked, it's hard to imagine, it's hard to feel joy, and it's hard to dream. And you need those things if you're going to start stepping into your creativity and embodying your creativity. But I feel once you start tapping into that inner child and stop being so obsessed with staying within the lines, you'll be able to creatively express yourself and not worry about what other people have to say about you coloring outside the lines. You'll be able to just free flow, and whatever shows up shows up. Here's the key though. Here's the key. These creative things that you are going to do, these are just for you. These aren't for everybody. No, this is for you. And so the reason why I'm pushing for you to start with you, creating things for you, is because this is going to get you started. See, once you can be satisfied with just having the way to have an outlet to express yourself and giving yourself permission to have that outlet, then you can take that creative expression into the to whatever the thing is that has been deposited into your spirit that you're supposed to give the world. So, for instance, sometimes when I create things in Canva, because I love playing with Canva, Canva is like my playground. Sometimes I create stuff on there for the hell of it, and it has nothing to do with anything that I want to sell or promote or anything like that. I just want to play. I just want to play. And the same thing with writing. Sometimes I'll just write stuff and I'll be like, this is for me. Yeah, this is for me. So being able to have something that's just for me, I don't really want to share it. I don't need you to be part of it because this is just for me. I need to get out what I need to get out. So anybody have any questions? about anything we just talked about. Have you enjoyed the postcast? Now, my TikTok people, y'all got me at 9.5. I know y'all love me better than that. Can you get me at least a 10? Can you get me at least a 10, y'all? Tap, 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 tap. Are y'all still with me? There we go. Thank you. Yes, Goddess Tabitha, get back to writing. Like I said, start with just something for you. Something for you. And it could be, it doesn't it doesn't necessarily need to be like a journaling prompt. It could just be something, a mind dump, like whatever is on your mind, and go from there. Because I was watching someone on, I think it was on YouTube, and she used to write things like, you know, business stuff. But then she started getting the call when she started tapping into her creativity. And now she's writing romance stuff because that's what she wants to do. That's what makes her happy because she was creating things for herself. And then she started realizing, I kind of like this. So then she decided that, okay, I'm not going to write this business stuff anymore. Done. I've gone as far in that as I feel I can go. So now I'm going to give myself permission to play and do something that makes me happy. So she writes romance stories. And that's the thing. Is like start off, what is it that makes you happy? Think about that inner child. Think about as a child. Like I talked about this on the podcast. I'm about to start building my library back up because I used to read a lot and for pleasure, for pleasure. And I want to get some of my favorite books from when I was a kid because I feel like that would be something that would be really fun and it will give my inner child a moment of play and imagination and not having to think about anything, not having to adult for just a moment. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. 'Cause I'm quick to turn on, like, a movie from my childhood. Quick to do that. I love nostalgia. But I was thinking about that with reading, I was like, "Man, I used to love to read." So, I wanna get, like, The Velveteen Rabbit because that was one of my favorites as a kid. I wanna get, Where the Wild Things Are. I used to love that as a kid. Um and there's a couple of other little books that I used to love. It was a story called The Tawny Scrawny Lion. I used to love that book. I would read that book over and over and over again. So I would read that all the time as a kid. And then from childhood, I want to go into like preteen and adolescence, different books that I used to like to read. I used to love to read, Nancy Drew, when I was a kid. I used to love to read, what was that? Judy Blume. I used to like to read stuff like that. Um, and then once I got into high school and I started, having book reports and stuff on, people like Shakespeare and Edgar Allan Poe. Well, I fell in love with Edgar Allan Poe. So I love The Raven. So I'm gonna get that. I want to get like a book of Edgar Allan Poe stories and um yeah, just stuff like that. And I think that's what we should be doing for ourselves is, hey, Goddess Danae, start doing things like that. Recapture that part of your youth. Why not? Why not? All of this is a creative expression when it's all said and done. How you choose to express yourself, and let that be the inspiration to help you in the process of innovating, being because we are in that season. Black women, black women, are you there? Black women, come here. This is a season for us of innovation and new creation. Create a new thing. And it's probably not even new. It's something that you forgot about from when you were a kid. That's the thing. It's probably not even new. It's just it's remixed. Yeah, do the things that you love and that makes you happy, that lights you up inside. Go back to your childhood. Think about those things that were fun to you as a kid and bring them into the adulthood. Once you bring that into the space and you allow yourself moments of joy, moments of pleasure, I promise you, it's going to open them energy centers right up because they're going to be like, she's coming back. She's bringing us back. She's letting us she's letting us play. We're going to have fun. Oh my God. Like, we're not even going to worry about what other people have to say about it. So, do like what was her name? Corinne Bailey Ray. I used to love her. Still do. And girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Get up and dance. Have a dance party. Have a paint party. Go get you some paint supplies. Turn your music on. Pour you a glass of something, something, whatever that something, something is, and just wild abandon. Just have a good time. Dance, paint, move, shake your groove thing, twerk a little bit if you want. I don't care. Just do something that's going to open up that part of you that you keep suppressing, that you keep feeling like you can't do that anymore. Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I don't need to be doing that. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, whatever hell excuse you have. Child, live your life. Have fun. Allow yourself to play. I remember, and I'll wrap up in a little bit, but I remember on my original podcast, which is the Starting Over at 40 podcast, and no, you can't hear it anymore. It's retired. Um, but you can read some of it in my book, which is the Starting Over at 40 book, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, um, one of the women that I interviewed, she and I were talking, and she was like, because she worked with children a lot before she got into the work that she did. She's done a little of everything. Um, But one of the things that she used to do, I think she was a counselor in schools. Um, we were talking about how children and men have no problem with play. They have no problem with it. Men can come home from a long day before they do anything. They will pick up that controller from Xbox or PlayStation, and they'll start playing a game, or they'll get onto their computer and play a game. or they'll, do something. They'll go play ball or whatever. But men don't have a problem with play. Children don't have a problem with play. Women, we have a problem with play. And it's because we've been trained to be caretakers. So we're so busy trying to take care of everything and everybody. We're taught to be responsible. We're given all of these tasks that we have to do. We have to make sure that, dinner is cooked, lunches are made, clothes are washed, that they're ironed. We have this, take care of the house, take care of your man, blah, blah, blah. We have all this responsibility that we're taught. So when it comes to us as women, it's really hard for us to get that energy back of play because then we think we're being too indulgent. We're being too we're not being productive. We're not whatever foolhardy thing that we have. So again, we've been trained with this. But I'm just asking you to step outside of your training and see what you can discover about yourself. See what you can discover about yourself. So I want to take that prompt that I asked earlier, and I want you to think about that. And I want you to come to me and tell me, I'll tell you in just a second. What did you love to do before the world told you who to be? I want everybody to write that down. What did you love to do before the world told you who to be? I really want you to sit with that. I really want you to sit with that. And I am a Leo. It should be obvious, but I am a Leo. And I say it should be obvious because, Leos, we're so flashy and showy and full of drama. We just are. But on the tube of you, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. If you've enjoyed the postcast, let me know. I plan on doing more of these. Feel like I've been neglecting you guys a lot, and I'm trying to get back and show more live love on YouTube. So until next time, have a good evening.